would say, the cloudy prana has been withdrawn. And what I'm feeling is that the thought forms are like little capsules or bubbles. And when they're neutralized, they dissipate, they fall away. But then there's kind of a dross, or not a dross, a residue left in the body. That's where panchakarma comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel in this moment. I understand the timing of why I would be stepping into panchakarma today, because that deep cleansing of residue, it's almost like burning, having a fire and putting in it everything that no longer serves you, and then there's a pile of ashes. And then to clean that away, you would hose it away. And I feel like panchakarma on an energetic level does that.
And so that is exactly true. You have to understand that your fire, the fire that is necessary to burn karma doesn't come from the biological fire alone.
Right.
So it's a fire of consciousness. So that is another Agni. And when you develop...
Tejas.
Tejas, yes. So when you develop Tejas, the power of consciousness, it burns psychological karma. And psychological and biological, they are psychosomatic, basically.
Right.
So that is why we combine yoga with Ayurveda.
Right.
Yes. And that combination is very meaningful.
It's so beautiful. Another piece that has come very clear for me is the devotional aspect of things, because I feel like to make that jump from withdrawing from the past and fueling our present and creating with this misqualified prana, you have to feel. You have to be willing to feel. Pure feeling, whether that's the most painful, the most joyful. And it seems to me that there is a flow of prana that comes out from the heart as we venture externally, and then receive, and it just comes back and forth. But if I recognize that there's a filter to that, and sometimes the filter, like the thought forms, becomes cloudy, and there's a cleansing that happens through devotion. The filter is much more clear, and for me, the way I experienced the clarity was it was easier and easier for me to be clear with external expression, but it was not as easy to receive clearly.
That is, devotion is the quality of heart. And devotion and unconscious is possessing the lower half of the heart, just to understand it.
Say that one more time?
And lower half of the heart is holding the unconscious past as emotions.
Okay.
And when you release that energy trapped in unconscious, it becomes devotion.
Okay.
So as long as your mind and attention is engaged by anger, fear, jealousy, self-rejection, blame, shame, you cannot go to the pure heart.
Right.
And you cannot have devotion because you need that energy to have for the devotion to develop.
Right.
So when devotion comes, you just are in love with whatever deity that you use,
Right.
or guru, or the sadhana, or whatever you use, it becomes devotional. You get so engaged by it
Right.
that you begin to get all the joys that you were trying to get from all different things. But it being so scattered in different ways, when you are indecisive, you are in your unconscious prana. Because indecision is conflict between your real self and self-image.
Right.
So what makes us to change? Because when you live in your unconscious, you feel so bad.
Right.
Feeling is bad. Feeling is hurt. Everything that you say, feeling is fear, feeling is jealousy, and it all comes through thoughts. Now you are automatic victim of it.
Right.
So, and then the self-image and the self, that is, self will come in and say, I want to practice yoga, I want to do panchakarma, but you will become indecisive because the conflict will not allow you to. But when you do sadhana, through pranayama, your indecisions go away. And when the experience come, indecision really go away, like you experience.
Right.
What a profound shift through panchakarma and the practice of yoga. Now, are you indecisive? Indecision that was there before now is less,
Right.
but more confirmed. And then when you understand this, indecision completely goes away. Called bhakti, devotion comes in.
I so feel, I understand that inside. That's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Jai Gurudev. I wanted to share an experience I had yesterday. It was my father's birthday, and so I met them in Ocala, and we went mountain biking. He turned 73. And it was an ordinary day, but I was so present for it that it made it extraordinary. And I so enjoyed myself. And over lunch, I was telling them about the teacher training that I just went through. And it was like I had this whole conversation with them that it wasn't me talking. I was telling them about the witness and about self-image in the witness and all this stuff. And then a thought came in to talk about Shiva and Shakti, and another thought came in like, oh my God, I don't think they're gonna understand that. I shouldn't talk about that. But then I remember you saying, don't hold back. And so I just let it all come out. And it was this amazing conversation, and they were hearing it. Like I could tell that they were getting what was being said.
I think they were getting it, even when they were not getting it intellectually. They saw the difference in you. That's why they were getting it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I just said?
Yeah.
That's what happened. They saw you were happy, you look healthy, you look clearer than ever before. And no matter what you said was validated, not by what you said, but who you are. Do you understand that?
Yeah, it was like the presence was just...
Right. But when I said go for it, I don't mean the language that is not familiar to them. So you have to be careful there.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went through. This time, but
This time it did. I think that they understood what I was saying, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like somebody else, if that came up, maybe that wouldn't have been,
right.
you know. Yeah.
Did they see the difference in you?
Yeah, my mom said, she's like, you look really peaceful. Like she had said that when I first got there and we met at the trailhead. She's like, you look really peaceful.
Well, that is everything. You look upset, that is everything on the other side. You look unhappy, you look tired, this other side.
Yeah. It was nice. It was like this.
Did you see the difference in your own behavior with your parents?
Yeah, it was much more relaxed and fun. And it was just a really fun day with them and being with them.
Right.
So it was.
I mean, it's a good proof that there is something in you is changing that is allowing you to be comfortable with your parents. Because that's where most things are stuck. Because whatever you brought in your childhood appeared as a conflict with parents. It wasn't the conflict with the parents. It was what you brought from your past incarnation. That is why so much is written about conflict with parents. That's not about it. It's coming from past incarnation, that whatever you brought, you are looking for freedom. You came looking for freedom, and they stopped you to do whatever you wanted to do. But it wasn't looking from freedom from somebody, it was the freedom from your own self.
Yeah.
But you came up with the same identity with your self-image, and therefore you had conflicts.
And usually I would feel with them would have to defend myself, like what I'm doing here, or all the yoga training and different, I would feel like would have to explain what I'm doing, but from a level of defending it. And this time it was like just being able to share it
Right,
and not have to defend it. I could just share with them.
right,
And that was really nice. That felt really good.
right.
Yeah.
You were fortunate.
Yeah.
That they didn't make you feel like you have to defend yourself. They
Right.
must have also, they were loving you as well.
Yeah.
It was co-creative experience.
It was a loving day.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Well, I had a different question, but just because of what you said, I wanted to share something that happened to a very senior disciple of Madam Rinpoche.
Anandmai,
In India, they accept this much more readily, but not necessarily. They had their son committed to a mental institution and electroshocked.
who?
They electroshocked this devotee because the parents would not go along with the guru-disciple relationship. They thought it was crazy. I mean, that doesn't seem so Eastern to me, but it happened. And this guy normally would have been very mentally impaired after that. That is a very severe thing, those spasms and everything. But he was okay.
This I can understand what was happening there. So he was a disciple of Anandmayi Ma, right?
Madam Rinpoche.
Ma Amritananda.
Right.
But he thought that Ma Amritanandmayi would have treated differently. But they thought that is the real thing that will really help their son. So that was their...
Right. They could see they were losing control of their son. Now this happened to Madam Rinpoche herself. Her father was very against her spirituality.
Oh, right.
And she said, okay, fine, inside herself, and she died. She had no vital signs. She was dead. And her father, over her dead body, completely recanted. He said, oh, I'm sorry. Came to life again.
That's amazing.
She brought herself back to life, and now he's busted. Now he's a devotee. And he became a devotee through that. And then Madam Rinpoche told me to join the ashram and said she asked my parents. Now this is a critical thing, your parents and your spirituality. Now my parents were dead. They passed away 20 years ago. But she said she'd asked my parents and they said it was okay. Now how are you with that?
Right. Parents are on a different level of consciousness than the children, just like individual. So parents are not really the parents that
There's
way.
a big connection with parents and children.
Yes.
There's a big connection.
If
Control.
only if you can understand what I said, everything that appears to happen to you in relationship with your parents is creation of your unresolved karma of the past.
Right. Right.
And you are given the right parents too. You chose them. So you don't, that's how you get married also the same way. Just the right way, just
Right.
like you get born to the parents. And it is good that it comes up that way. There is nothing wrong. But we don't know how to use it. That is the problem.
I just wanted to, it was an extension of what Pallavi was saying. I just wanted to say that is why the I'm sorry. I wanted to say that is why the pranic healing is the very first step of pranic. It's so applicable to every discipline because the very first step is cleaning the energy body, which impacts on the physical body, etc. And so through the sensing of the energies, we can tell where those disturbances are. And, if you don't clean it and you go ahead with projecting the spiritual energies into it, you're just driving the negative energy in further. So it's very accurate, your description. I just wanted to share that with you, Pallavi.
Yeah.
It's very important to clean not only the physical body, but the energy body. I wanted to say, I don't think in all the typing and writing and reading and everything I've done in the last 4 years, I don't think I ever heard you say it quite like this when you said the I am is passing through my thought forms. So the formless then assumes the forms that you give it.
Through the
You
thought.
give it with your energy body, we create our own world.
Right.
And that phrase that it's passing through my I am is passing through my thought forms is like a gentle breeze blowing through a forest or something. That's how I see it.
And if the breeze flows through the garbage pail, it creates a dirty smell. But if it breathes through the flowers, it makes. So it is not done by the breeze. It's done by what it is going through.
Yeah, I never quite saw it like that. I thought that was so beautiful way of phrasing it.
Okay.
Jai Gurudev, good morning. When that was as clear as I've heard it again, and I got the picture I had in my mind is we're just all directors in our own movies, and we're continuously creating movies.
Right.
And then, of course, if you don't like the movie you create a different one.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple.
Right.
When you understand that everything, that the energy goes through our thoughts, so I'm living here today with a very, very clear picture
Good.
of what I'm doing and how to do it differently if I don't like what I'm doing, how to
Right,
create
right.
it differently.
Right.
And
Then you can choose to do it differently. Now it becomes choice.
total surrender.
So choice that comes from integrative intention is the right choice because it is choosing to disband the choices, do you see,
Yes.
that have been living in your conditioned past self-image. So sometimes people get confused. They say, if I don't make a choice, how would I even live in a second and even one day in my life? So there is distinction that I explained.
Yes.
Choice that comes from your pre-programmed past and choice that comes in response to what is present. Yes.
And even this last one, the air that flowing through whatever is flowing through picks up what it is. And these are all such clear images.
Right, exactly.
That
So consciousness identified with thoughts takes the forms of thoughts.
whatever.
But consciousness is formless. But consciousness identified with the forms combined with energy which goes with it. Why? Because consciousness and energy always move together. And when consciousness is moving through the mind, energy is also moving through the mind. And energy and consciousness together allows you to be an independent creator by which you can shape your life.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So just really quickly, something just came together is that if you are listening to prana and you are not a victim anymore of your past, that is when the divine plan can unfold. And
Yes.
you really move into the
Yes,
beauty and the freedom of who you truly are.
truly are. Yes, yes.
Wow.
Because when who you truly are, you don't know. But when you let go who you are not,
Right.
who you are is reveals rather
Right.
than achieved.
And if consciousness and energy always move together and the thought form is clear and they're not identified with anything,
So the energy does not move with the thought forms. So that's why suppose you think something but you are not emotional about it,
yeah,
it is not connected with fear, your energy won't go, too much energy won't go with it.
right,
So that's why if your actions are connected with a lot of emotions,
right,
you lose a lot of energy that is now serving your body, healing your body, is now used in your emotionally charged actions and thoughts and feelings and interactions.
So if consciousness and energy does not then get taken by thought forms, does it flow through the heart?
Right, when it goes through the heart means it's not me. Again, heart
Right.
is devotional, is so devoted to the object through which you are anchoring your consciousness into
Right.
it.
Wow. Thank you.
So it's again consciousness. The heart is the manifestation of consciousness, and it creates devotion only when emotions are getting to be low, less and less and less. Then it begins to move towards great joy for doing nothing,
Right.
going nowhere, achieving nothing. You feel joyous for, that is why it is called acausal joy.
Right.
You didn't cause it and you are having it. Why? Because you are that.
Right.
That's what yogis said, thou art that.
Right.
Yogis, they say that you are the bliss. You don't have to cause it. If you remove that which is causing otherwise, what is left is who you really are.
Wow.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Just listen. Hare Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama Ram, 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 Hare Rama Rama. Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Ram Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Ram Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Ram Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Ram Rama. Jai.
Jai,
Jai Guru.
Jai Gurudev.
Do you know there is one Christian tradition where they talk in tongues? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
That means when prana becomes active, they talk gibberish. And I don't think there is any country where that is spoken because it is non-local language. It is the language that comes from prana. So when it is not pre-programmed, it is releasing the unconscious through that. So your dreams are also unprogrammed by you. They are not edited by you, not directed by you. Therefore, they are also the release by prana. Same thing when I chant, it's not, if it is not pre-programmed, then it does the same thing. So when you begin to see things that are unusual, that is not programmed by you, those visions are created by unprogrammable being that you are. So that is all happening. In dreams it is happening below the mind. In meditation it's happening above the mind. That's the difference. Okay.
Jai Bhagavan.
Jai Bhagavan.
Everyone.